you know?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, now we're going to talk about PS1 days. It's like, why can't you just talk about the PS1 and the PS4 and the Xbox One X? Why can't you just talk about that all in one thing and then move on? Like, you know, it's not very interesting.
Yeah.
I hate podcasts like that, you know?
I don't know, it's not like, it's like they're not even trying to put any thought into what they're trying to...
What they're saying. It's like it's all robotic, you know?
Yeah. And, I don't know, when you plan on what your podcast is going to be, it just sounds fake. You're being fake. You're not being real. You know, it's like, okay, it's a script.
It's a burn room, wired to destroy everything.
Right? Yeah. Seriously, exactly.
And
one more.
You might as well be like trying to do a SNL thing.
Or May.
Yeah.
What could have happened?
God.
Now, how do I get?
I definitely recommend this game, dude. I thought, you know, it was gonna be kind of stupid, but it's a different concept, man. It's hilarious, is what it is.
Yeah, that's good.
Hello, Peter.
I was talking to a buddy earlier, right? And I told him I bought this game. He knew about it.
I thought you were out of town.
And he's like, I could tell he wasn't. He was kind of kidding, but he really wasn't kidding. He's like,
get that.
He's like, bro, you just bought that game because there's half-naked girls in it. And I told him, I was like, dude, don't say shit like that. That's saying stuff like that just making sense, stupid. I mean, duh, obviously.
And an Osborne rally.
You know what I mean?
I didn't know you were a fan.
I mean, what am I supposed to say? You just ate food because you're hungry?
Well, what matters
is
saying? You were both safe.
Amen. But the bombers are still out there.
See, here's one thing, okay?
Have anything to worry about. As
As
long as you stay away from places
this was on Facebook. I get this
I should go.
Message or this someone sharing their story. Anybody playing Final Fantasy 14? And you know, I could have been a little nicer, and my main reaction was obvious answer. People who are playing Final Fantasy 14. That's who's playing Final Fantasy.
Right.
And he was like, well, I'm just wondering because
Wait.
You know, me and my girl were trying to do these one things that are that you have to do with other people. I was like, well, and you know, sorry for sounding like a dick, but you know, when I see comments like that, you know, and you were the lucky winner of me getting my obvious reaction. And right. I was like, dude, there's all sorts of places you can go. What you want to do is start signing up for PlayStation pages, because if you really want to ask those types of questions and not get a response like from that you got from me, I even sent him, you know, single dad PlayStation.
Center in Chinatown.
What am I going to find?
A nice lady named
I was
May
like,
Parker.
follow these people because a lot of these people are in your demographic.
Where?
Yeah.
Still working on that.
You
but
know,
I think he's going to use something called Devil's Breath.
But I hate those. Like, anybody playing Red Dead Redemption 2 online? No, absolutely no one's fucking playing that game.
I'll send copies as soon as I can.
I know, seriously. I don't like shit like that either. And you know what I've noticed too is, I'll be honest, in my spare time, if I have nothing to do, I'll watch a lot of YouTube, and I'm guilty of it. I'm one of those people that immediately scrolls down to the comments, because I'm just curious. Not that I care that much, but it's interesting to see what people are saying. And what the comment section has turned into now
Remember how
I don't know
you
if
told
you
me about
noticed or
Lee's
not. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't.
I think I just saw it in action.
But what it's turned into is a bunch of people just trying, they're attention
people
whores. They're trying to get attention.
Thing is,
They'll have like a
they had
little
glowing eyes.
emoticon
And I
hand
remembered Yuri telling me
with
something
a finger
similar about the
pointing
guard who
down at the
released
like
Shocker.
button, and it says, how many likes can we get? How many likes can we get for this? And who's here because of this? Who's here because of this? It's like, oh my god, people, what the fuck are you trying to accomplish here? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of what that reminds me of.
And one of my favorites is, I will slap my boyfriend or girlfriend if I get 50 comments.
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah.
I was like, man, I'll just slap my woman right now, just for the hell of it. I don't need comments. I don't need 50 comments.
I've got the plans. Can I come by later?
Yeah, go ahead.
Basically, you're
Be right there.
you know, you're putting domestic violence all over Facebook right there. I'll slap my significant other for 50 comments.
Yeah, I know, right?
Bitch, that's a felony. What you're doing right now.
Right. Lol.
Today we have a very special caller, breaking important news right here.
Oh my god, this game's actually pretty goddamn fun.
Thanks for calling in.
No, thank you, Jonah.
You know what, too?
You're always fair to me.
Maybe some YouTubers do, but I'm sure this has happened a lot.
Job, Mr. Mayor. All I have is my
You come across those YouTubers that are like, you know, if we can reach, I'm giving away 4 $100 Amazon gift cards to random people. Just leave a like and a comment and subscribe at the bottom if we can reach a certain number. Bullshit. They don't. I bet you most of them don't do jack shit, because there's no way any of us could actually know that. You know what I mean? Like, they're just fucking doing that to get more people in.
Yeah, and the only way it could be, like, random is if you got an actual counter for, because you actually, if you're gonna do those, you need to have one of those. That way, it's a lottery wheel.
Yeah.
And I want proof that it's random.
Really? Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm sorry, if you can't prove that it's random, then you're just blowing smoke up everyone's ass.
Seriously, and I mean, who's gonna go invest $300-400 just out of the whim just for random people online? Bullshit. I wasn't born 2 minutes ago. You're full of shit. Nobody does that.
Mr. Mayor. My lines are open for you anytime. Jared, did you hear?
No, again, maybe some people do, but I just can't take that shit serious.
No, I mean, if I were to actually say I'm gonna do, hold a lottery, I'm not gonna go out and buy like 4 or 5 fucking PlayStation cards or Microsoft cards or no. In fact, if I do it, it's only gonna be for PlayStation cards. Sorry, if you're not on PlayStation, that sucks for you.
Yeah, really, exactly.
I mean, I when I stream, it's on PlayStation. And
I love talking about this. The YouTubers, man. YouTube back in the day used to be fucking great. It was like people like you and I doing what we do. It was just like straight up home videos. It was like, it wasn't so narcissistic and showboating, and now it is like the most narcissistic, it is the most showboating, fake fucking shit. Bro, I don't know if you've ever heard of this girl. She calls herself Justine, because her name is Justine. Well, my name's, Justin, so naturally I'm like, oh, you're talking about video games, cool. Bro, she's a fucking airheaded bimbo fuck, but I gotta give her something. She's hot as fuck. And that's what she has going for her, because she has almost 6 million subscribers, and I'm like, oh my god, you're not talented? I don't know that you really deserve this. I looked her up, and her net worth is over $4 million, man, estimated. But still, it's like, all you're doing is dumbass vlogs, talking about your cell phone, and doing video game unboxings and shit, and you're worth over $4 million? Fuck that shit.
And she has no idea about fucking video games at all, I bet.
No. She's a dumbass.
See, and when all that stuff, like fucking PewDiePie, and...
Oh, he can go fucking eat a dick. I can't... Fuck that asshole. He's a piece of shit.
And basically, all he was is... He wasn't even really doing anything. All he was doing was just making weird fucking noises and going, yeah, hit that subscribe button.
I know. He talks like he's fucking a retarded Down syndrome kid. Still hats off to him for being as successful as he is, but at the same time, it's like, there are real women and men out there working their asses off and barely getting it by. What does that make you and make me and the next guy and the next woman a sucker? I don't know. I don't like shit like that. It's like, you're not working for your money, you're jacking off for your money.
Exactly. And, you know, it irritates me that they don't know enough about the game, and when they give a review, for Christ's sakes, don't just play the game for 20 minutes and be all like, oh, the game was fucking crap, I couldn't understand it, the controls were just idiotic, not simple, blah, 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 blah. I got dizzy.
I agree. God damn it, amen to that. And you know what? I've run into that so many times. That is why I don't watch reviews and shit anymore. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I was hooked on that shit for a while. I was watching ACG, IGN. ACG's actually pretty good. He's not biased. He's not a piece of shit dick like IGN people. But still, he talks a million miles an hour like he just did 9 pounds of coke and drank fucking 10 Red Bulls before the video. So it's a little annoying, but he is open-minded, but still. Remember me when I started playing the Fractured Butthole? I'm using myself as an example. All I did was say, God, I don't like this game. God, I don't like this game. I just can't get into it. I just can't get into it.
Yeah.
I gave it time. I finally got into it. 75 fucking hours later in a platinum, and all I got to say about it is that game's fucking gold. I love it, because in order to give an honest review on something, play the game, beat it. I don't care if you platinum it or not, but play and beat the game before you open your trapdoor. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's like, okay, I'm going to use this as prime example. Batman Origins. Alright. Batman Arkham Origins. Prime example, simply because, people kept on telling me, oh, that movie sucks, or that game sucks, you're not gonna like it, and it's too short. And the thing of it is, it's not whether it's too short. It's not whether if it's fun. With those types of games, I want to know the story. Right, because the controls, they could be different. I might not like the controls, but if it's got a kick-ass story, then I'm all for it. Origins, horrible story. It's like watching an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh, jeez.
You're while you're playing it, or while you're watching an M. Night Shyamalan movie, you're sitting there, okay, when's going to be the plot twist? And then after that plot twist, when's going to be the super twist?
Right. Yeah.
And that bothers me. Like, on some games, like, you don't have to put in a super duper other twist if there's already a twist.
I agree completely. And you know, okay, here's a good one for you. So I immediately clicked off this video, and I don't mean any direct disrespect to this dude, because he does seem like a nice guy and everything, but whatever. It's neither here or there. He has a gaming channel. I don't remember what his name. Actually, yeah, I do. Let me look it up really quick. He is called. Are we streaming by chance?
Actually, we are.
Okay, so if you, I seriously doubt you'll ever hear this, but if you do, no disrespect. Scott the Woz, W-O-Z, really, really excellent. First thing I do want to say about him, though, is he doesn't do any of these bullshit intros, like and subscribe. He doesn't talk about his life. He doesn't mention he's got a cold. So many YouTubers do that. Sorry about my voice, I got a cold. Because I got one thing to say to you, 5 words. I don't give a fuck if you have a cold. Just get to the goddamn point. So he doesn't do any of that shit. So hats off to him. The thing I don't like about him is he's a kid. You know, he's a hell of a lot younger than we are. But he gets into talking about games as if he's been playing games as long as we have.
Yeah.
And that's where you're kind of crossing the boundaries, man. You gotta kind of check yourself a little bit, you know. You and I have been playing games since, you know, the early ass fucking 80s. So back off.
And I'll say this. And I don't know if you had it, but when I had it, you know, I had one of the very first fucking, I guess, streaming game back in the early 90s. I had the early streaming of video games in the 90s.
Nice.
Sega TV.
Oh, right on. Yeah. Very cool.
If you think about it, that was the first streaming service for video games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not a lot of people knew that. And if you were lucky enough to have Sega TV, you know, I that's where if you had Sega TV, first off, that's where you developed video game ADD.
Yeah.
That's exactly where I developed my video game ADD. Where, you know, okay, so I have, you know, over, I think when you subscribed, you had available to like over 100 games. Right? So, I mean, to just play one out of 100, fuck no.
Yeah.
Man, I went from, you know, literally, we'll say Bubsby, right? Bubsby 1, and all the way to Vector Man. I tried them all. I played Echo the Dolphin.
Nice, hell yeah. That's cool.
And, you know, when my dad asked me what I was doing, because he noticed that I play a game for 15 minutes, reset, start another game. He was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "You got me one of the greatest things at time." Right? It was better than going to Blockbuster almost.
Yeah.
Because you didn't need to go to Blockbuster. My dad'd be all like, "You want to go to Blockbuster?" I don't need to go to Blockbuster, Dad.
That's cool. Shit, I remember going to Blockbuster. Back in the day and renting. That was back in the day when you can rent video game consoles. I remember renting the Sega Genesis on more than one occasion in games and shit. Those were the good days, man. a lot of these YouTube kids, I mean, I give it to them. They're trying, they're doing what they can, but I think video games is something where it's like, it's one of those many topics where when you start touching on like the older stuff, and meanwhile you were like not even anywhere to be around.
Yeah.
It's just hard for me to take it seriously, you know? I mean, I'm not saying you're better, I'm better, or anything, but like that's something that, you know, you and I could do, very much so, because we were literally born right at we were born in the golden era. Speaking of golden era, I was watching some kid talking about the golden age of video games was like, you know, the PS2 and the PS3. I'm thinking, what? No, that's not the golden age of video games. What the fuck are you talking about?
No.
That's my point. That's not.
Nah, we are not. No, we've already hit the golden age of video games. I'm sorry. Whether people think they know better, no. I'm sorry, because the golden age of video games, if you actually think this is the golden age of video games, no, you're wrong, because the golden age of video games were, you know, exactly what I just said. Blockbuster, Sega TV.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that was the golden age of video games. Being able to go to Blockbuster on a Friday night, go home, or go there, pick out a couple of games, right? And here's the thing, not go to sleep until Sunday night.
Right.
This was,
yeah, exactly.
and this was without meth, this was without energy drinks, because we didn't have energy drinks back then. No, we stayed up for the sheer thrill. We wanted to accomplish that game. We wanted to beat that game. And here's the thing. If you really wanted to beat it, right, there were no saves. There were no saves.
No, I remember leaving my console on all night long.
Yeah.
I'd go to bed, I'd wake up in the morning, and I would resume playing.
Yeah, I would go to bed at night, and, you know, in the middle of a sports game, because, you know, I've always been a sports nut. And, you know, I'd have it pause, wake up, you know, take my shower, eat my breakfast, you know, watch a little bit of Sports Center. You know, when my dad left for work, boom, resume my game.
Yeah.
Till I had to go to the bus stop.
And
if I didn't finish that game, guess what? I still had to. And remember having to leave post-it notes near the console just so no one turns it off?
Yep. Exactly. Oh, yeah. Those were the days when, you know, you'd go and buy a new game, and, more than likely, well, we were the passenger because our parents were driving, right?
Yeah.
And half of the experience, and sometimes a lot more memorable than actually playing the game, was ripping that plastic off of the box, opening the box, removing the game, and looking through the beautiful colored instruction manual and looking at your plastic cart. Like, that was half of the experience right there. That doesn't exist today.
Oh, yeah. Where, you know, with the Sega game, you'd get, you know, a game, and then you'd get this big 32-page instruction manual on how to play the game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was YouTube back in the day, folks. Instruction manuals. Imagine that.
And still, I still, one of the best video games I ever got for Christmas, and I don't care what anybody says, WrestleMania, the arcade game. for Sega Genesis.
Awesome. Awesome.
I mean, that was my Mortal Kombat. Because, yeah,
Oh yeah.
here you got an actual, Mortal Kombat style fighting game, but it's wrestling. It's wrestling characters, and I remember, learning Shawn Michaels because he was my favorite wrestler, and I remember the first time I got the 32 hit combo. The ultimate combo for the game for Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
It was fucking dope as hell, and one of the proudest achievements of my video game history endeavors.
That's awesome, man. That's cool.
And I think what makes it really, really memorable is the fact that, we didn't have trophies.
That wouldn't have fun.
Your friends had to take your word for it.
Right.
And I'll admit, sometimes with our friends, yeah, we sort of needed proof of the pudding. But, no. You needed to take their word for it that they actually did it, because there was no proof unless you were smart enough to record through your VCR, but it was hard to do sometimes.
Yeah, it really was. I did that a few times, and you're right about that.
I remember one time I did it for Michael Jackson's Moonwalk.
Oh, cool.
For the Sega Genesis.
Yeah, that's a cool game.
And here's the thing, that was one of my favorite games on the Sega, believe it or not, was Michael Jackson's Moonwalk. Regardless, yes, oh my god, it's a Michael Jackson game. Yeah, it was Michael Jackson.
Cool.
It was a Michael Jackson game, but it was dope because, one of the special moves was doing the Alf. Remember the Alf?
Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, I watched a cool... do you know who James Rolfe is?
No.
He has a YouTube channel. He is hands down the best video game YouTuber on YouTube. His name is James Rolfe. His channel is called Cinemassacre. He's a filmmaker. He went to school for filmmaking, and he's our age. And I've been watching him for fucking years, and never, not once, has he doesn't smash that like button, hit that, he doesn't shove that shit down your throat. He's a you and I. He's really, really cool. I mean, he's married. He's got kids. You know what I mean? So you can respect him. The guy is really good. Cinemassacre, and he has a character that he plays called the Angry Nintendo Nerd. So I'm sure you've come across him at least once.
Yeah.
But
I generally stick with since I'm into Rockstar. I generally stick with one YouTuber, and that's Mr. Boss.
Okay.
Because generally, he's been spot on with some games and some rumor mills, so that's why I like going with him.
Nice.
he does a lot for Rockstar, so
Oh, cool. No, that's very cool.
But he is just like one of those typical YouTubers, so hit that like button. Oh, wait, Justin, which reminds me, since I am streaming, if you guys are watching this, please do not subscribe. Please do not hit that like button. Please, go fuck yourself.
Oh, right, yeah. By the way, if you are listening to this,
Breaking news just
I don't know
in.
if anybody's listening,
My
but,
sources tell me the
or
police
if you
are
will
now
listen,
looking
my
at the
channel
team
is
primary suspects in the City Hall
satnetgames.com. Just kidding,
If that
it's
is
just
in fact the
satnet
case,
games. Did you
I
get that?
retract what I
Probably
said
not.
about
Anyways,
Spider-Man not
yeah,
being
don't
black.
subscribe, don't even check it
Would
out.
be, at the very
It's just
least,
random video
commercially
gameplay.
responsible.
If you want to watch
Because
kids
the
being
reckless
narcissistic
manner in
jack-offs,
which
rubbing their
Wilson
genitals,
was
and
brought
talking
down
about
directly
nonsense they don't
created
even
the
know what the
void
fuck they're
the
talking
demons
about,
poured into, like
my
the
channel's not
poison
the
they
channel to
are.
go to.
Actions
Exactly.
have
I'm sorry. I
consequences, my
don't
friend.
need followers.
That's
I don't
something
need
Spider-Man
viewers. If you want to watch my
never
video,
understood.
go for it. If you don't want to watch my video, don't watch it. If you get offended by something, well, keep listening because you're probably going to get even more offended. Because
That's right.
I created a goal in life and I want to offend over 1 million people.
Oh yeah.
And the only way I can do that is if you guys go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be better off, you know? Shit.
I mean, what I just said was, you know, how I did that was more real than, you know, those fake YouTubers saying, oh, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, oh, and share with your friends too, man. No, I'm
I
not
know.
that. Because I'm not gonna say that. No, what I'm gonna say is what's on my mind. If I'm playing a game, I'm gonna try and talk about that game. Which, you know, if you guys haven't noticed, this is fucking Spider-Man. Duh.
Oh, yeah, that's right, you're playing Spider-Man.
And if you don't know who Spider-Man is, well, you need to go seek psychological help.
Seriously. Stan Lee, folks, you know.
Rest in peace, motherfucker.
Yeah, rest in peace. And watch Mallrats if you haven't seen it. Actually, you know what? No. If you're not at least 28 years old, don't watch Mallrats. I don't want you to see it if you've ever seen it because that's a disgrace to me and Sean. Go fuck yourself.
I would never recommend people watching Mallrats under the age of 21.
No, I wouldn't. Well, a little older for me, just because that time when you and I were growing up, society wasn't a shitbag. You know what I mean? Kids today are used to a piece of shit. Everything is so fake and phony. They wouldn't understand the humor. They wouldn't get it.
No, I mean, back then, oh God, the golden.
We really need to get better about organizing our workspace.
I think we're at
our first volunteer subject, Lance Corporal Texeter.
The end of movies.
Lost his arm overseas and now just wants to hug his daughter.
You said it best the other day with you know, movies being all about effects. You have a sex scene and then out of nowhere, like no, let's not do that.
Yeah, like, you know, fucking, it's a serious scene, you know. Honey, something I need to tell you. I went to the doctor's today, and I've got cancer explosion.
Yeah, right, yeah, exactly. Computers are doing all the work, man.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to be talented anymore to be in Hollywood.
No, you don't. Bro, I have to tell you, I know I've told you this again, but I'm going to say it again. I watched a thing, yeah, it was on YouTube, but it was by older people, much older people. Look, if you're listening to this, it's not that I hate younger people. It's just, you're Your generation is a pile of dick shit. Anyways, moving on. So this guy, you know, a couple guys in their 60s, 50s, whatever, they were talking about sound studios today and how fucking advanced they are. And they had some people come in, literally could not sing at all. They're not singers. The studio did its magic, and when you listened to it, you were like, oh my god, that's a good voice. Studios, you're right, you hit the nail on the head. You don't have to have any talent today. None. Absolute. Well, just like that Justine girl. She's a dumb bimbo fuck. But she does have 6 million subscribers, so, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's easy.
To me, it's like, it's sick. Sorry, I just have to say this really quick, but unfortunately, that 6 million subscribers, she may have it going for, but at the same time, it's like, that's not really anything to be that proud of. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're just a hot girl. I mean, if Justine was some fat, ugly slob, she wouldn't have 100 subscribers. You know what I mean? So it's not like all that success has gone up her ass, but in the wrong direction. It's not because she's talented or she's good or anything, because she's not. She's absolutely not. She's a fucking dumbass. She's just hot.
Yeah, and that's all you need. That's what you need. So, I mean, I guess since if you want to, you know, go through life like that, you know, just being able to be famous for having just a pretty face, not being able to be talented or smart or intellectual or anything. I mean, if you're playing video games and you know nothing about the video game, then shut the fuck up.
Really? Yeah, seriously.
Stop playing video games. Stop, you know, listening to other people's reviews, because that's exactly what a lot of YouTubers do. They'll listen to a lot of other reviews, and then they'll make their YouTube video and, you know, use other people's reviews, but twist it, turn it to make it their own.
And see, that right there, I've ran into that many times, and I think that is that's rock bottom. That's when you hit rock bottom right there. That's chicken shit. Is when you see a YouTuber making a video and it's basically snippets of random other people's videos, and they're making a video revolving around that. That's not okay. You're capitalizing off of other people's shit. I've watched, okay, here's an example. So, not the best of example, but it's an example. I've seen a lot of videos, like American Dad and Family Guy scenes, okay? Random YouTubers are uploading scenes from American Dad and Family Guy. In other words, other people's content, they are monetizing their fucking channel, and they'll stamp their name on the screen. So as you're watching the video, their stupid little symbol or their logo is on the screen. They're making money off of Seth MacFarlane's material. That is, I have no respect for that. That is not okay.
No, and that also goes towards, like, these people making these, or, you know, I've seen a couple of, like, fan-made trailers. Like, everybody wants this Friends movie. They want a Friends movie instead of an actual TV show reunion. Okay, so one day I was, you know, up there, and then I saw this thing for Friends movie trailer, and I watched it, and I'm like, it's fake.
Yeah. Right.
From the moment I turned it on, because, you know, they want this they want it so bad that they'll do anything to try to make it a reality. And then, you know, they're sitting there making money off of, you know, money off of it. And the people who made that Friends trailer for the movie made at least $100,000 off of it.
Jesus Christ.
Right.
I mean, see, and my thing is, like, that's awesome they made that money. They're happy. But at the same time, it's like, look, I don't want to go to bed at the end of the day knowing I made money taking a diarrhea shit. I want to know that I went to bed contributing to society, being an asset, doing good for the world, like doing good for myself and supporting my family, making a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to go to bed feeling accomplished. I don't know how any one individual can go to bed at night. The majority of these YouTubers, I'm sorry if you're listening to this, but you can go fuck yourself, going to bed at night, making money off of basically doing nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. And, you know.
And that tribute, all it was a 2.5 minute trailer or 2.5 minute short movie from other TV shows, other clips. And it's like, one person tried to tell me it was real, and I'm like, it's fake. How can you tell it's fake? I was like, well, for one, I'm watching the show that Joey's doing, or Matt LeBlanc's doing now.
Oh, jeez.
And it was called Episodes. That was a TV show. It was called Episodes. Right? They took scenes from that. They took scenes from Cougar Town. They took scenes from Lisa Kudrow's show from HBO. They took scenes from, you know, everybody else's shows.
God. God, it's like, don't you have anything better to do? What are you trying to accomplish here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for, you know, people making, you know, these things, but if you're gonna do it, actually do it. Actually make it. Don't use other people's stuff. Don't use other people's material. Don't try to get rich on other people's stuff.
Yeah, no shit. That's not okay. That's just downright fucked up is what that is.
Because, I mean, if that's the case, I could just, you know, finish my movie right now, stamp it, and say, okay, well, the rest of the movie, I'm just gonna, you know, add in some Kevin Smith movies and call it good.
Yeah.
No. For one, that's disrespectful to the movie industry. That's disrespectful to the director. That's disrespectful to all the hard-working people who made that movie.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, it absolutely is.
It sucks because, you know, they take all the credit, and it's like, hello, how can you take credit for other people's work?
Right. I want to add something to this when you're done.
Go for it.
So, you know, what we're talking about reminds me of is it's a little off subject, but kind of not, is, you know, all the time you have these rants. This is how stupid people are. You have these rants about video games on YouTube. And what I find funny is, like, let's talk about Madden for a second, because that's a big one. You know, I personally am stoked about Madden 20. I always do. I don't need some diaper-wearing bitch to tell me that, well, it's basically the same thing. What are your thoughts on the physics? What I think is you should go have sex with your mom. That's what I think you should do. That's my response, because it's a tradition. I know what I'm getting myself into, and I don't care. Yeah. Anyways, so these people get on and they rant about Madden, but I wonder if it ever occurred to them that what they're actually doing is advertising the fucking game. They're promoting it. They're getting people to be aware of it. There was a press conference fucking years ago with Matt Stone and Trey Parker, and I know I've told you this before, and I don't remember if it was Matt or Trey, but there was this lady, and she was bitching left and right, saying, your show's not good for our children, and left and right saying this and that. And one of them said, you know what? Pointed his finger at her and said, you know what? Keep fucking complaining. Keep it up, because you just made me $1 million.
Yeah.
You dumb bitch. And that's exactly what these fucking assholes are doing. And I don't think they really ever stop to realize that that's how selfish they are, because all they care about is their attention for, you know, the fucking YouTube channel. And again, that's another one of those things that how can you sleep at night and be proud of that? That's not an accomplishment.
Yeah, and okay, so when we make our movie, James versus Girls, see right there, just, you know, I sponsored our own movie. It's sponsored. Here's the thing. I already expect those kinds of questions. I already expect those kinds of comments. You know, when the movie comes out, yeah, I'm probably going to be up all night reading the review boards, you know, Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah. By the way, Rotten Tomatoes, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, go eat a dick.
And so, the first parent, the very first parent, and I hope you're there with me. Well, you have to be there with me, no matter what.
I will.
My answer is going to be, first of all, ma'am, what kind of parent are you for letting your kid watch my movie?
Yeah.
I mean, it even says no one under 17 allowed in this movie.
Yeah.
First off, don't come at me when you're coming across as a bad parent because you just let your kid think it's okay for kids to get high. Let me tell you one thing. I do not condone kids getting high. I do not. The reason why I did it is because, guess what? It fits in today's society because something like that can happen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Definitely.
And that's going to be my question. And that's it. And if her husband's there too, I'm going to be all looking at him. That makes him a bad father too. Because you know what? I'll admit, my dad probably wasn't my dad probably wasn't thinking straight when he took me to go see Pulp Fiction in the theaters.
Yeah. I mean, the thing of it is like, you know, you're going to end up playing the game or you're going to end up seeing something, whatever that may be later on in life. But what's important to know, though, is it's at that time, is it appropriate? I don't know why so many of us take that for granted. I don't think, and I know, and I've seen videos on YouTube where you can clearly tell that these are like fucking 7 and 8 year old kids playing GTA 5. What the fuck are they playing GTA 5 for? I mean, it's harder in today's society, unfortunately, because, you know, all these little fucking assholes got tablets and, you know, phones and shit, so they can easily just watch it anyways on YouTube or on the internet. But still, I think a parent needs to, like, put forth at least a little bit of fucking effort.
Yeah, don't just because, and
where'd you get all this equipment?
I'm going to use myself as an example, okay? Yes, I have GTA. I have lots of games that probably are not meant for kids, right? And I'm sorry, I don't care if you're 16, 17, 18, whatever, right? if you want to play on my system, right, I don't care what you play. I honestly do not care what you play. What I do, except for one game, and that's GTA.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's not for kids, and
No.
here's how strongly I feel about it. Right? My niece, over the age of 18, asks for either a copy of Red Dead Redemption 2 or GTA. Once we heard GTA, we were like, we're not going to get you GTA.
Right.
Sorry, you're 18, that's fine and dandy, but I do not feel comfortable with you playing that game with some of the situations. You know?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the game is downright fucked up.
I may be a hardcore gamer, but I'm a hardcore gamer with morals.
And that's the way you really should be, in my opinion. Absolutely.
And you know, Chris's son, Josh, right?
Yeah.
You know, I told him, dude, you can play on my system. I do not want you playing GTA. And don't let me catch you playing that, because I know the moment my system turns on, even when I'm at work, I get those notifications.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And his response was, there's nothing else to play.
Okay.
I'm like, dude, you can't play that. You can't use that with me, because I'm sorry, at the time, I had over 300 games.
Right. Exactly. There's nothing else to play. Jesus.
And, right, when he did install a game, he found out that you do not just up and go into the store and download onto my machine.
Right.
Right, because I came home one night and Fortnite is on my thing, and I'm like, Fortnite? No. And I went downstairs and I was like, alright, who said you can put a game on my system? No one. I just thought it was okay. I was like, well, you didn't ask, and no, I don't want this game.
Yeah.
Fortnite? Why the fuck would I play Fortnite? Fortnite is a child's game.
It really is. I tried it. It sucks. The community is toxic. It's not good. It's not a good video game at all. Christ. You know,
it's a pay to win game. You have to pay to win it.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And
it sucks.
I guess one of my friends' kid, I guess, spent $1,400 in the game. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And it's like, first off, $1,400.
That's oh shit.
Right. Usually, you know, it doesn't matter if it's a credit card or a bank card. I've been cut off when I spent over $200 at one time on Sony, and they cut my card off, and they were like, did you mean to do this purchase? Yes, I did.
Yeah, I get caught off pretty early myself. I can't go nuts, but I'm glad though. You know, I have it set up that way on purpose. You know what I mean? Because it's one thing if you have cash, but if you have a card, you know, you don't think about it, and you know, it's easy to get retarded.
Yeah. Well, thank God for me.
Right.
I have second protection. You have to put in my password.
Oh yeah. Me too.
And I've changed my password simply because I don't want people to know my password, because if they do, then they can purchase stuff. And I'm thinking, okay, so you automatically you should get a straight up red flag as soon as even $100 is spent on a video game.
Oh yeah.
And
I think that should do it.
For sure.
you know, I'm not gonna say I've never put money into a video game.
Ready?
You know, I bought shark cards before. I have not done it yet with Red Dead, and I'm not going to. And
No, I'm not either.
you know, I'm one of those people that, you know, you tell me it's a pay to win game, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Everything okay?
it's definitely discouraging. Like, you know, GTA, you see a car or a plane or whatever you really want, and you're like, oh my god, it's, you know, $1.7 million. I could easily buy a shark card, or I could just work for it. It's kind of like what we were talking about earlier about, you know, what YouTubers are doing.
Sorry.
You know, I just feel like if I work for it, you know, I'm going to feel better about it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Versus just, you know, busting out my wallet and then hurting myself in the long run, because that money could have been, you know, food for my mouth. It could have been, you know, toilet paper for my ass and so on and so forth. Versus,
yeah.
Something stupid.
And see, and going back on to, you know, Madden and the whole pay to win, right?
It seems you and Norman have a bit of a history.
When me and you were debating about that, you know, I actually did my own research because I had to. I had to know for sure if it is a pay to win game.
You were at Oscorp when it started?
Yeah.
And when it comes to Madden Ultimate Team, it's yes and no.
It is a catchy name.
And here's why I say it's yes and no. It's yes because if you want to put money into it to win, go for it. That's your choice. That's your prerogative.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make videos this year once Madden comes out.
I've relied on grants ever since. If this project
because
work, don't worry, it'll work.
I'm gonna give simple tips. I'm gonna give simple solutions.
I'll brew some fresh coffee.
And it's a 100% guarantee it's gonna work.
Be sure to
because
run a diagnostic on the control. Could be a short.
And I've been telling you this for I think the past few years now on Madden Ultimate Team that you don't have to put money into it to be good.
No, you definitely do not. And in fact, you know, paying to win, if you will, in Madden is not going to make you good.
No.
Because if you do it the natural way, that's going to make you good because you're spending more time. You know, you and I growing up playing video games, I know I bring that up a lot, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to continue to do it because it's a good reference. You and I growing up, there was no pay-to-win shit. I mean, it was like, here's what you see is what you get, and you're going to play this, and you're either going to get good or you're going to get bad. You're not going to be good at it, whatever. But, and I guess that's just why I talk like this, because this is how we grew up, but it doesn't do you any good, really, in the long run, to buy all this shit, because it's like training, you know? You play more games if you do it naturally. You do more races, you do more games, you know, football or whatever the case may be. you know, I want something in GTA that's, you know, over $1 million. That stupid car I told you about, but you know, I could buy it, and I have spent microtransactions in GTA. You know, whatever. Most of us have at least once or twice. But if I do it naturally, it's going to make me better at the game, and it's going to make me feel better about it in the long run.
Yep. And I think I really hate the pay to win scenarios, and that's what a lot of the games are these days. Is, you know, especially the ones that they say, oh, okay, it's free to download, blah 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 blah, but you only get a certain set of characters, and if you,
I know, right?
And if you want other characters, you gotta upgrade it. What the fuck?
I know, that's stupid. I hate that shit. Games today are all about, you know, I hate hearing about like the day one update, the day one patch, day one this, pre-order, DLC exclusive. You know, it's just, we've become more greedy and more selfish. You know, again, when we were kids, we'd go to the store, we'd buy a fucking game based off of the cover art, and we'd go home and enjoy it. It was that simple. And it's so complicating now. There was no pay to win. There was no downloadable content or day one release shit. It was like, you got yourself a damn good game. And what was nice, too, is I'd go home with the copy of a game, and never, not fucking once, was it broken. They all worked fine. Maybe it wasn't the best of game, but it worked. It wasn't broken. And I didn't have to spend any additional money on it, because I'm sorry, I don't give a good goddamn rat's ass how much money goes into making a game. And the reason why is because there's not 20 games in the world. There's 20 million kajillion games in the world, so obviously it can easily be done. It's widespread. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? So, like, I don't care how much money goes into developing a game. I'm not going to spend hundreds of dollars on it. That's just foolish. It's stupid.
And here's another thing. And from when we were kids, you know, when it was Super Nintendo, Nintendo, Sega, boom. All right, you went out, you got a game, right? You didn't see no reviews on it, nothing. You bought it because you thought it looked cool. You thought it looked great. Now, back then, games were expensive. Games were a lot more expensive than they are now. A Nintendo game would cost $80 brand new. 80 brand new. Right? Simple game. No battery in it to where you could save any of your boom. No, you couldn't save. So $80, boom, you get it home. You played it for a long time, and it turns out, guess what? You didn't like the game. Guess what? That's your fault.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, it's not like, okay, these people have so many outlets on video games where, and I'm sorry, to me, it's still true today. You know, I've had the same outlook when it comes to video games since I've been playing video games. The only way you're gonna know if you like a game is if you play it hands-on first.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because, especially in this day and age, anybody can write a review. Anybody can be a critic. Everyone's a fucking critic. Everyone's a fucking Democrat. Yeah. Everyone's a fucking Republican. And,
that's right.
You know, it just boils down to, you know, instead of listening to other people, just play the fucking game.
I know, seriously. It's like, people, you need to, like, get over yourselves, and there's no sense in you know, people see YouTube as, oh, it's so convenient because I can look at a game and watch a review and then decide if I want it or not. Wrong. That's a facade. Yeah, all that is entertainment. Because what you said, Sean, is that's just exactly it. All you're watching, yeah, you're seeing the gameplay and everything, but if anything, if you're going to watch a review, turn the volume down. Don't listen to the YouTuber, because all you're doing is watching some stupid asshole that thinks he or she knows everything about everything. That's their opinion. Don't make their opinion your opinion. Just go buy the fucking game. I mean, seriously, it's not like you're debating on whether or not you should pull the plug on life support on your mom. I mean, it's just a game. You either like it or you don't, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and if you don't like it, you know, I don't know what to tell you.
Right. I mean,
you know, we're in a day and age where it, you know, you buy a video game, you have a little bit of leeway in returning it.
You do, yeah, yeah.
But then again, you also have, you know, the problem of, okay, well, you only played 15 minutes of it, so.
Yeah, I know. It's just it's the level of impatience and gotta have it now type attitude. I swear everybody in society today is on speed, cocaine, and 100 Red Bulls. It's insane. And I don't know, I just feel like as a kid, you know, it was, you know, we were blessed as kids, you and I, because time wasn't so fast. Things were slowed down. We didn't have nearly as many resources, and that's a good thing because, you know, I remember this memory in particular. I went with my folks to buy Super Mario Brothers 3 brand new, and I was pumped. You know, I didn't see anything before it. We had Nintendo Power magazine, and I mean, come on, it's a fucking magazine. It's not YouTube, right? So it's not. I didn't really know anything about the game. So when I got home, I was just like, oh my god, it's amazing. I mean, that is a fucking phenomenal game, by the way, but it was just simple and it was innocent, and I didn't listen to a bunch of narcissistic YouTubers. I really wish, now I'm just being sorrowful right now. I just wish times were the way they were when we were growing up, because they were so much better. Things would be so much better right now if it was the way it was when we were growing up. It's just too much of this political correction and crossing boundaries. Everybody's a fag now, and nobody can appreciate anything. Nothing is ever good enough. And that's what really irks me too, is it's like, I don't really, look, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but how can somebody look at a game like, I'm going to bring Madden into it again, but how can anybody look at a game like that and right away say, oh, that's shit? It's like, have you ever played NFL football? I think Acclaim did it for the original Game Boy back in the day. That's what I would tell these people. It's like, that's what I grew up with, motherfucker, and you're playing this? This is some futuristic RoboCop crazy shit here, man. I mean, it may not be perfect, but you cannot deny, if you're a human being, that it's shit. That it's good, I meant. I mean, Madden's good. It's fucking great. It's phenomenal, you know? I don't know. We just don't appreciate anything anymore. We're too selfish. We don't, no matter how good it is, it's garbage and it's got to be better. That's the mentality these days.
Yeah. And, like, I mean, Madden. My biggest complaint about Madden is, you know, it doesn't have the kick stick, or it doesn't give you the option to say, okay, you can use button or use the kick stick.
I know. How brainless of an idea. You know damn good and well, if you and I were in charge of that game, everybody in the EA office is scratching their chins like a bunch of fucking, you know, retarded dumb fucks. What should we do? Kick stick or X button? You and me, Sean, would be like, hey, dumbasses, make it an option. Ding ding. You good? You feel me? You know what I mean? Make it an option. It's so brainless. You and I should be fucking gajillionaires. Because I feel like when you and I talk about shit, we come up with so much stuff. Why isn't it happening?
Apparently not, judging by today's debacle.
Because I still haven't found another job.
My funds are still...
I know. It's
the
okay.
kickstick.
Don't worry, I'll figure it out.
Alright. One person said, why are you making a big deal about it? It's not like it's always been there.
Okay. The world.
One, fuck you for coming at me with a comment like that.
Yeah.
Two, I've been dealing with the kickstick since NFL 2K5.
Don't worry,
right.
I'll still be here when I get back.
And when Madden took over, you know, they noticed that they even heard that one of the biggest complaints was kicking. They want the kick stick because, you know, using the analog to kick felt natural. It felt real. It felt like you were actually doing it.
Right.
You know, and when Madden started doing it, you know, doing those 70,
interface would be a big
doing
step,
those
Doc.
Big, yes, but essential.
Important field goal kicks
less than effortless to use, we'll have
were, you know, okay,
we'll get there, Peter.
Either you make this field goal or you don't. If you make it, you lose. Or if you make it, you win. If you don't, you lose. Right? And
for sure.
When I actually
the micro cables we used to simulate
did that with the kick stick, it felt awesome. When I kicked my first 66-yard field goal with the kick stick.
What's that?
All right. It felt so amazing because I did it. You know,
yeah, it's more personal, you know.
You know, in this year's Madden, I would have felt better about some of my field goal kicks if it was the kick stick. You know.
Oh yeah.
And I'd have to get on Madden to do that, and I would have to end this stream. I will say that when I did kick a 67-yard field goal in Madden in this year's, I will say it was really good. You know, I got excited, I got loud.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine that if it was the kick stick, I probably would have gotten so excited that my controller probably would have been in my lap. I probably would have dropped it and probably would have stepped on it.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You know. And, that, I don't know if this bothers you, but, if someone says, and they're playing a game with you, and you tell them, hey, don't do that to my controller, right? And then automatically you do something similar to your controller, and they're like, hey, you told me I shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do it either. Hey, bud, it's mine.
Right. Yeah, I know, right?
I hate that, you know? And here's my simple reasoning for that. Basically, it's mine. If I break it, I can only get mad at me.
Yeah, for sure.
And if I break it, I only have to depend on one person to replace it. If someone else does it, I'm gonna get mad. Yes. You know?
Oh my god, I just, like, sorry, I was, I'm listening to you. But I'm just looking through the options in this game, and it's just making me think about what we're talking about, Madden. And this game has so many fucking options, and it's like, that's the key word, options. I mean, it's so elementary. I mean, I can change it from inverted, vertical, inverted, horizontal, or not.
Yeah.
That's just it. It's an option. So give us the availability. And it's hard for me to wrap my head around an entire group of people that get together to make Madden. They're all cajillionaires, and EA's a fucking money pig. How is it even... It's hard for me to believe in my mind that not one single one of these dumb fucks actually thought to make it an option to switch between just pressing the X button, square, triangle, O, whatever, or the kick stick. It's not quantum physics, man. It's you know what I mean? But I see that a lot in today's games. I'm not saying I could do them all better.
Hey, sorry,
well,
I missed your
actually,
call.
yeah, I kind of am.
Still on for
because
dinner?
every game I play, I think,
yeah.
why did you do that?
I was calling you about
Why
something
didn't
else,
you
but
do that? It's
yeah, we
so
should talk over
like
dinner.
a 2-year-old can
Offer
figure
still
this
stands for
shit
me to
out.
come
What's
over and
wrong
cook.
with it? It's almost like they do it on
Oh,
purpose.
really? Well,
Yeah.
I like to take
And
risks. I'm still out, but I'll grab some stuff at the store and let you know when I'm home.
Okay, talk soon.
sports. Okay, when it comes to
Right.
like,
Dinner
and
at MJ's. No
this
expectations.
is
You
why
want to
I
screw this one
say,
up?
you know,
Guess I'll just freelance for a while
the
until she
kick
calls.
stick, because hockey. All right, they've been doing this since PS3, Xbox 360 days. Okay, hockey.
Incident is ongoing near
Union Square. Does it? I like realism. You know,
me too.
especially sports. You know, I want realism. So, I set my options up to where, okay, I want to use the analog. I'm not thinking about other people.
Yeah.
I have to tell
You know,
Jay, I used to think you were exaggerating
because
the danger to the city, but after the City Hall bombing, I gotta admit, you were right.
with that with the analog stick, it feels more real. I have more control.
I would have loved to have been wrong. Better yet, for those in a position
If
of power to have
I shoot a goal, it's gonna be awesome. Now, basketball, I used to be able to, I used to like shooting with the analog stick, okay? But since they've incorporated like a lot of dribble moves, I don't like shooting with the right stick because I'm trying to do dribble moves. So I went back to the button for that, but I'm still using the right analog stick for, you know, my dribble moves.
Sure.
You know, it's realism. And I'm not saying, okay, well, you know, with Madden, let's make it more real. Let's use the analog to throw a ball. No. I don't want that. I just want to I mean, that's like one simple option. One simple fix. Right? If people don't want the kick stick, give them that option. But if people like the kick stick, give them that option.
Well, no shit. Well, you know, it's like a lot of people were complaining about that Madden had this story mode, and I kept thinking, you know, I respect your opinion, but at the same time, you're not forced to do it. I mean, think about how shitty that would have been to put in Madden 18, or Madden 19 for that matter, and you could not play a game of football. You were forced to play the story first. Then your complaint would be, you know, worth my time. But you don't have to do it, so what are you doing? Did you not wipe good enough or something? I mean, what's the problem here? Why are we even having this conversation? you know what I'm saying?
My thing is, when it came to like putting a story in a sports game, and this is coming from my experience because of 2K, NBA, right? When doing a story, I'm creating my player. I'm creating my guy, right? I'm not using their guy, right? And so, but when I'm like trying to, you know, be an NBA rookie of the year, anything like that, I did not ever become NBA rookie of the year till I might as well stop my stream, but I gotta go to my library to tell you the last where the NBA game where I got rookie. No, we're still streaming. I might turn off my stream here soon. But yeah, purchased. And it was the last one I purchased before I got NBA 19. So NBA 2K17. All right. That was the very first NBA in 2K history I ever got Rookie of the Year. With the previous titles, though, they never gave you that option to become Rookie of the Year. Like, your first year was you played out this story. So you played only about 8 games that season. So that's where my whole feel for, don't put a story in a sports title because it really does not belong. Because playing a sports game, we don't want to feel good. We don't want to feel bad. We don't want to, oh my God, I cannot believe that happened. Oh, and yeah. 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 Now, and I'm not a huge fan of Spike Lee, okay? I am, you'll never hear me say, oh, Spike Lee is a wonderful man. He makes awesome movies. No. Spike Lee is a good filmmaker. Yes. But he is also very, very, very racist. And yeah. But I'm not going to deny that he's a wonderful filmmaker. He has made some of my favorite. Crooklyn. But when he did this, when he did NBA 2K16, it it was his first time delving into video games, okay? And he had a story. It was a good story. But it was the same as any basketball movie ever made. Right? And that's what I got from it. Oh, okay, so basically this game is, he's got game, Above the Rim, Sunset Boulevard, any basketball movie, Hoosiers, even Hoosiers, all rolled up into one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have the best friend die? Okay, and, here, the best friend is the protagonist, the troublemaker, the person you don't want your NBA player around. And that's what was so cliche about it. And that's the thing. If you put a story into a sports title, no matter what, it's going to be a cliche. Because that's all you're doing.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Like, look, I mean, going back to, long shots and Madden, I love that we're talking about this. Madden 18, long shots. I'm not saying it's not about me, like, doing it better or any of that shit, but if I were to have done it, I definitely would not have introduced a reality show, because I don't like that shit. So, Devin Wade and the other guy or whatever get into it, because of a fucking show. That none of that would have existed. His dad would not have died. He would not have played for the team that he played. He would not have been poor as fuck. Not everything has to be a disaster. It would have been more like, I guess, everything but that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really like anything that they did with it, because it was just too, like I said, cry me a fucking river type of shit.
If I were to do, put a story in a sports title, okay, football. Automatically, we'll just say football. All right. And if I were to use someone's life, one person that comes to my mind is Steve Cutlet.
Oh, yeah.
Now, here's why I would use him. First of all, here's a guy that, when we were at Drake, we heard of Steve Cutlet. He had the golden arm, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is why I would use him. Because remember when he went to see you?
Yeah.
He didn't even make it to the practice field in his first year.
Wow.
You know why, right?
I don't know why.
He got busted with coke.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that'll do it.
Now, that's a story I would use.
Mm-hmm.
A guy who had basically everything ahead of him on a silver fucking platter. He had a scholarship. He could have gone to Notre Dame.
Jesus Christ, that's a big school. See, I love that, man. I love what you just said, because that's reality. That's realistic. You don't get on a major, a professional NFL team via a fucking reality show called Long Shots. I mean, I'd love to approach the person who came up with that and said, and you know what I would say to him? I'd say front hand, backhand. What?
Yeah. Basically,
you're not deaf. You heard me. Front hand, backhand. Okay, backhand.
No, fuck that. Have them look at their fucking hand. Doesn't matter which way, but once they have it, like, in front of their face, just push it as hard as you can to their face.
It makes me sick, dude, that so many of these fucking assholes get in the video game industry. It's like, whose dick did you suck? Whose pussy did you eat to fucking get in the industry because you are not good at this? I mean, so much of this stuff is just like, I've been in college a long time and I've been in groups with kids and adults alike, and some of the things we come up with is just fucking brilliant. Why can't these big ass video game corporations come up with it? What's the deal? You know what I mean?
I want to know.
Did they have a roundtable meeting at EA and they came up with Long Shots, a reality TV show, a Cry Me a River bullshit, and they went home and celebrated and got drunk and thought, yeah, I got the best idea? No, you guys are all stupid. It's not a good idea. Everything about that sucks.
Prepare to be amazed.
And what do you want to know?
Fuck. I forgot what I was going to say.
Damn it, I'm sorry, that was my fault.
No. That's my hope. Oh, okay. I want to know why some things are monopolized. Like, okay, technically there's really only one real baseball game out there now. And it's only for Sony.
Yeah.
Okay. I want... Like, okay, I mean, it works out because I'm on the PlayStation, but, you know, if the tables were turned and Microsoft had the rights to baseball, right? No one out there is making a baseball game out there.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I miss the days of, you know, competition.
I do too. That's when gaming was better, period.
I hate the fact that, you know, EA monopolizes football.
I do too.
Because back in 04, you know, 2K and anything 2K did for sports was a lot better than what EA was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And when 2K announced at E3 that 2K NFL 2K5, NBA 2K5, NHL 2K5, MLB 2K5, they already announced how much their game was going to cost. $20 for a brand new sports title.
Jeez.
And now, you can even look at the record books. You can look at the dates. When Madden, because both NFL 2K and Madden hit the same day. 2K planned on that. They didn't announce their release date for any of their sports titles until EA released their sports date.
Mm-hmm.
And 2K did not announce their release date till a week before Madden was being released.
Wow. Damn.
No, it was perfect. I mean, think about it. Okay, you're 2K, and you know you found out that you had the best football franchise the prior year.
Right. Yeah.
All right, and they didn't really do much to the next season, right? Except for, okay, you can do a lot more during franchise. Like you can go have your QB go and study film. You can have your wide receivers go do drills. Your defense go do, you set your plan up for the week. Right?
Right.
And when the game released, 2K flew off the shelves. Their first day. Like they were sold out the first day. Everywhere. You couldn't find a copy.
How, you ask? Well,
damn.
No one there seems to know.
All because, they made the same game
Now, I'm no expert on
year before, but they were like, we're gonna release it for $20. And the reason why they said that is because it's, the people that buy our games year in and year out, right? They spend $60 on these games, and they're pretty much getting the same program. They're getting the same game, just amped up, and with a little bit more features. So what we decided to do this year is, because since we're pretty much doing it, we're $19.99, and that's all our games are going to cost, brand new.
Right.
And man, what they did that year was fucking amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I got played 5 full seasons of NFL 2K.
Damn.
And
Dang.
It was awesome because, not only am I playing a game, not only am I trying to win championships, but I'm also setting my players up to get better.
Yeah, for sure.
And this was when the Broncos had Jake Plummer as the QB. I made Jake Plummer retire as a Bronco, and he won 3 Super Bowls. Not, back to back to back, no.
Right.
But it was good getting that intricate into general management. And, that's something Madden is starting to do, right? I guess they've always done it, but, to me it just seems like, okay, they're doing it now and they're doing a really good job. My thing is, when you're coming out with a Madden game, don't tell me about all the new perks and stuff.
I know. Yeah. I hate going to a game that I'm interested in, and it's like, oh, my game started shit. Even with, Red Dead, it was like, do you want this package, or this package? And it's like, wait, what? No, I'm not going to spend over $100 on this game. Just give me the base game. Give me what you made. I don't want all these other options. Why can't you just consolidate? It's just, it's legalized crime, in my opinion, is what it is. Well, I don't know if I should say legalized crime. It's manipulation at its finest. It's like, if a guy gets on, he's like, oh, I got Red Dead, and then he's like, oh, cool, which one did you get? In our time, we would say, I think you need to go to a psychiatrist because I just got Red Dead, you fucking moron. But now it's like, well, I got the base package, you fucking idiot. I got the gold package. Now who's the idiot? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'll admit, you know, certain games I will go and get the gold package right off the bat. I wanted to for Red Dead, but I didn't. Borderlands 3, I'm gonna get the $100 edition.
Yeah.
Because when it comes time, and I told my roommate this, when it comes time for DLC to come out, right? I don't want to have to, okay, it's out, so I don't want to have to, like, try to come up with the money at the time when it comes out.
Sure.
You know, so sometimes, yes, I do say it is worth, but only if you, it's only beneficiary if you yourself thinks it's beneficiary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I used to get pissed when games did season passes.
Oh, I know. I hate that shit too. It's stupid.
And it's like, you gotta spend an extra $50 for the season pass. And here's the thing. You spend the $50 for the season pass, and stuff doesn't come out for the longest time.
Oh, I know, right? And I am also getting tired of the whole shit where it's like, and I've got first-hand experience with this, unfortunately, is when they say, this game's coming out, and people are like, oh, cool, when is it coming out? Next month. Okay, when next month? The 5th. All right. The 5th comes around, or the 4th comes around the day before. Actually, it's been delayed.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you mean it's been delayed? You said it was coming out tomorrow. No, it's going to come out 3 months from now. And then it gets pushed back again and again and again. Here's the thing. Why open your mouth in the first place? If it's done, it's done. If it's not, it's not. It's always been done. They do that on purpose to build the anticipation, and that is the most chicken shit thing you can possibly do. Like, I know you don't want to hear it, but The Last of Us 2, the goddamn game has been done for a long fucking time. It has. They do what they do because they're trying to rape you and me of the anticipation. Sales go up. People get more hyped. The problem with doing that practice, though, is the more hyped a person gets, the higher the expectations. So if they're like, God, I've been waiting for this game for 7 months after release date and it's finally here, they expect something to be perfect. And no matter how good the game is, it's just not going to be that good. You know what I mean? So they're actually hurting themselves in the end.
And I got the perfect game. Okay. Prime example. All right. It was on the Dreamcast. And I don't care what anybody says. Hands down to me, this was one of the best games ever made. Shenmue.
Oh, yeah, totally.
All right. Now, Shenmue 2.
Not so good, huh?
Well, the hype that they had around that game, right? And this is where I say, all right, don't hype it all up all at once, because, you know, Shenmue 2, biggest fucking disappointment to me. And the simple fact that they left it open again for a third one. And the third one's out. Right? It finally came out, like, maybe a year ago. And I'm probably gonna have to wrap this up, like, here within the next 30 seconds because I gotta go to the bathroom. But, I want to play Shenmue 3, but I'm already expecting to be disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, with The Last of Us 2, right, no matter what, I'm gonna buy the game. I'm gonna play it, because, I don't think for this game, if they're done with it, you know, that they're gonna Jew the story.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say. And,
right.
Like I said, I gotta use the bathroom, so I'm gonna have to cut this.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
I definitely, the next podcast we do, I definitely want to delve into, you know, the hypeness of sequels, because hypeness does not sell.
No, it doesn't. It's typically a letdown, and that's what I fear for, you know, The Last of Us 2, because here's the thing, you know, it's like you hear the old wise man say you can never go back, and that's the truth. You can never go back. Kids today don't know what the fuck that means. They take it too literal. You can't go back, because once you experience something that's insanely great, you had a great experience and you talk about it, and then you have the opportunity to go back, your expectation is that you're going to experience the same thing. It's typically not the case. And with all this stupid fucking hype and all this anticipation, people are going to be like, oh my god, The Last of Us 2, this is going to be great. I'm not saying it's going to be a shit game. I'm sure it'll be fine, but people's expectations are going to be higher than that of what the game actually is. Yeah. So what they're doing is actually hurting themselves in the end. And I shouldn't be talking shit about this game, but I am, because I have to be honest. The fucking game isn't going to be what people hope it to be. And these selfish assholes just need to release it already, because the piece of shit is done. I don't know. It's just so stupid. It pisses me off.
Yeah. But I'm gonna end this, and I'm glad we're doing these, and we're gonna do more of them.
Yeah, totally. Let's the next time we do one, before we do it, I need to set up my audio. I need to do a practice video, or like a quick snippet video with you. I need to make sure I can hear your voice, because there might be something that you need to do in your settings, because when you're doing them, I'm going to do them too. So maybe we can do that tomorrow night or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, all right. You got to go. I'll let you go, man.
All right. You have a good one.
You too, bro. See ya.
Right.